Hello and welcome to another edition of the Thursday Throwdown. I am the host, XD Ally, X Daly, whatever you want to call me. Super exciting stuff. As Thursday Throwdown. Oh my God, I'm getting some background noise. Is that me?
No, that's me. My bad.
Okay, cool. No, you're good. I thought it was me. I've been known to mess shit up, so that would have been okay. So again, exciting stuff. Season 4 is finally underway. That got down last night. But before we get into anything, we need to introduce the panel, and I'm going to send it to my main squeeze. As always, Pale Poner, how's it going?
What's going on? 239 Hockey, how's it all going? Hanging out here, first Thursday Throwdown for season number 4. Last time we were on here, we had the draft show, so this is pretty cool. We're heading into season 4. We had a couple of games last night. We got a couple tonight, but we got a lot to talk about. So let's move on over onto Ability. Ryan, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. I got to play my first series last night. It was better than expected. I think that the competition for this season might be spectacular, folks. Just my take on it, but the first week's shaping up nicely. I'm interested to see how tonight's games are going to go. But before we get into all that, I'm going to toss it off to the one, the only Yambag.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Looking forward to our series tonight against Daly's A-plus team, and break down these teams if I know who's on them. And that's pretty much it. I'm not drunk yet, so give it about 20 minutes and it should be good.
Yeah, and Yambag's drinking the good beers like he always does. And it's not Miller Lite. It's not piss over there. Yambag's drinking some heavy shit. But happy to have him on the show. It's always entertaining. If anybody didn't check out the thread, I did do the predictions for tonight, and I literally found the perfect gif for Yambag. Every time I open my fucking mouth, I picture that being done like every single time. So, guys, for me, right now, before we get into anything, I just want to kind of take a moment. There's a member here with us in the 239 community that unfortunately suffered a loss. So this is a shout out for AC, a guy who's been around. He was an admin here with us. Unfortunately, lost his mother a couple days ago. So I want to take 5 seconds, give a moment of silence for him and his family, and just let him know that he's in our thoughts and prayers. So we're going to give him 5 seconds here. So again, thank you, everybody. Again, if you guys see him, if you're online with them, give them a little love. It's tough to lose somebody, and we're basically like a big family here. So anytime something like that happens, we got to show our love and respect. So shout out to AC, man. I hope you're doing good. If you need anything, obviously you let us know. Anything that we can help you with, and we definitely will. So shout out to him, and hope you're doing as good as possible, man. I really do. So. But with that being said, we're going to jump right into this. There's like so much stuff. So last week we did the draft show. We weren't on video, so you didn't get to see our mugs for a week. Now we're back. We're looking good. We're feeling good. Couple things I want to touch on. New show, guys. We have 3 shows. If that's not exciting, then I don't know what is. We are starting our own 239 Sports Center. We have the Thursday Throwdown. We have the Sober Elitist, and now new to the media team, we have Pass the Bleach. That's with DJ and Shoot Therapy. That's going to be every Sunday night. Time's changing on that. Could be 10 Eastern, could be 9 Eastern. Depends when the little guys go to bed. We're all old, and that's how it is. We have kids and shit. So with all that being said, they're doing great stuff over there. Think PTI, pardon the interruption, for all of those who know what that is. They're always looking for submissions on questions, so make sure that you guys send those to them. Chewy has a thread up, I believe. If he doesn't, I will tell him to get one up. So Pass the Bleach every Sunday. Just another show, something else that we're doing here from the 239 Media team. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one pans out there. Last but not least, before we jump into the team breakdowns, and we are going to touch on some games as well, guys, how weird did the captain thread get today? A little bit earlier. Now, I'll be the one to blame, and it's usually me, right? It's obviously usually me starting the shit. I think it started with some not safe for work pictures, like 25 of them that I rattle off in a row. But that's beside the point. I started during working hours, you know, and it's weird. I always have it on my phone, so I don't think about that people use their computers like Yambag and stuff like that. So apologies to any captains who work from a computer. Old dad's always on his phone, so that's the thing. You know, it started with the selfie, man, and I threw one out there. And just to see what happened, you know, and then Gunny put his big, beautiful ass up there too. Not ass, just himself. You know, we got some good-looking captains. I mean, what did you think about that, P4LE?
Oh, well, it was all in good fun for the most part. I was glad that a couple of those not safe for work ones came out after I had left at 4. But the captain thread is good for a couple of laughs a day. There's a lot of stuff going on in there all the time, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, you know, rule of thumb. How about this? Let's do it this way. If I post something in working hours, don't open it. It's a safe assumption. It's either a penis or something completely inappropriate. So don't open it. Fact. Done. So now that we've solved that, good. Yeah, good fun with the cats. We have a really good group. I'm loving it, man. I go in there, I get laughs every day. So shout out to all the captains. And
wait, real quick, I just would like to say I would definitely love some pictures. If you have captain threads with some pictures in there, some guys, send them my way. I can do magnificent things with photos, right?
Oh, my God. Okay. And, hey, by the way, shout out to Ability. Don't think it didn't go notice all of our faces photoshopped on those tuxes, man. Dominator Silva, by the way, is your #1 fan. That has been physically confirmed. Ability, he absolutely loves you. God, I love it, man. And Hugh Laurie posted an old picture of me, too. I have a feeling that's going to be kind of a thing this year. I hope Dank loses a lot of games so that book, but it's gonna happen. So I say fuck it. I put my face out here every week. Fair game. Anyways, with that being said, we have to talk about one more thing, and we haven't been on since the Joe Stowe trade happened. Okay, where do I begin? What the fuck happened with this trade? Joe Stowe was a cup-winning left wing who was caught in a logjam, was the first-round pick, and was the first to get moved. P4LE, what do you think about Mac North, the 6th-round pick for Joe Stowe, the 1st-round pick?
So Mac North, I scouted him for like a handful of games before the draft because I scout everybody. He seemed like he was a solid guy. He plays kind of like sober. He's got that left-handed left wing thing going on. But you know, I thought that he would be like a later round pick, and he went a little bit later than I thought he would, especially since he knows a couple of guys in the league. But yeah, I mean, like I don't really understand where trading for Joe Stowe was the solution to the logjam of left wings on that side of things. Like, you know, you drafted Superstar in the 5th round, and you corrected that by dropping him and picking up a right wing. Soup was then picked up by Hugh, but I don't really see the necessity to trade Joe Stowe in that deal as well. You have 2 of my wingers from my Cup team last season in Figo and Joe. Now, how many games Figo is going to be able to make, whatever. But you've got both of them. They have obvious chemistry. Yeah, they get under each other's skin every once in a while, and maybe that was the reason he decided to pick one. But like they work together. That wouldn't have been an issue. It wasn't an issue last year. We made it happen, and I just didn't understand the reasoning for moving Joe Stowe, especially without. It didn't seem like adequately shopping the guy either. I didn't even know that he was on the block, and if I did, I would have been all over it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know where that one kind of came out of left field. What do you think, Ability? I know you didn't play with either of these guys, but
well, after you guys kind of refresh my memory on this, and I don't know a whole lot of the situation, I just remember that one of the captains made the comment that they felt pressed for time. Something in the element to do with time. I don't know. That was the excuse that I heard, and that's why the trade was initially pushed through. Because, like you said, and it seems to be notorious, There wasn't a lot of shopping around that was done. It was almost like first come, first serve. So it's it's skeptical what happened. I don't know, a little sketchy.
Hey, why do you guys look so good in your pictures, and I look like a fucking mutt, by the way? How did that happen? That was on
I
purpose.
did get dressed up for the award show.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you know, I know that you're going to speak your mind, and you're not quite the level of drunk that I wish you were while discussing this topic, but how do you feel about the Joe Stomack North trade right now?
I don't know. I mean, Tomahawk says that Mac looks good. You guys from XBS have said that he's good, so maybe he'll be good. I don't know. I'm trying to not totally shit on a new captain because he is new and it can be overwhelming, especially when you make a bad pick. But I don't know. I don't know what to say because the veteran captains are pretty good about offering advice, and Tomahawk didn't come to me for advice because I would have told him to get the fuck out of that trade and do something else because just trading a first-round pick for a sixth-round pick is bad. Like it's not a good thing.
Especially before you even play a game. Like we didn't even play a game yet. Yeah. I think it was almost less than 48 hours before the draft. After the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. It was quick turnover, man. And like I'm looking at it too. Here's the thing: Mac North is definitely not a 6th-round talent. He's definitely deserving to go ahead of that. A lot of that was namesake, like people don't know who he is. That's fine. And, you know, he's got some work to do. He's got to get back to that level. It's like riding a bike, man. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I also think Joe Stowe was taken too high. I really do. I think Joe Stowe, I'm not saying he was a product of the line that he played on, you know, but here's the thing that McGilla has. McGilla traded for the name. So even if these players were a wash, and let's say that was, McGilla has a logjam now, but he also has a trade piece. So I understand why McGilla did it. And McGill and Joe still have some, you know, history as well, playing together with the Cannoli Fuckers or whatever that team name was. But with that being said, you know, it gives Mac North a chance to really showcase his skills. That team's got a lot of rookies on it, so I don't hate the trade, I guess, as much. But people are going to view it as a trade, and understandably so. Joe still just won a cup, had a fantastic year. But, you know, it's whatever. It fucking happened, and you know what? McGill and Hugh Laurie. You know, Yambag is so quick to say don't trade with Daly. But I want to throw this in the fucking ring right now. Do not trade with Hugh Laurie and do not trade with McGilla. You've already seen firsthand what happens. So captains beware, now you know. Also, shout out to the captains. You guys did a phenomenal job last night. We have so many new captains this season, and stats were in. There was a couple games that were weak, but fixed right away. So shout out to everybody last night, except for Esoteric, who literally had to call me while I was at the gym and ruin my gym time because he could not figure out how to do stats. And all he was doing was blaming me. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, with that being said, shout out to everybody. Great job. It was phenomenal. So moving on, we're going to jump into it, man. There was 4 games on the slate last night. Happy to say I was able to go 3-1 in the predictions. By the way, if you are wanting to do predictions, please email me, send me a message on live, send me a message on GChat. I'm always looking for collaborative partners on that. Even if you only want to do one series, you guys kind of see what I do with it. Not too crazy, but give me your analysis. I'll give you the, you know, your plug at the end of it saying written by whoever, and then people know to spew all the vagina blood your way instead of always spewing it my way. It's really quite perfect. Anyway, so last night, first series on the slate, 2 rookie captains. We had just Tap It In, which is Dynamic Crew, and the Vanilla Nut Taps led by one and only Esoteric. You know, again, for me, this series had a lot going on, but I'm going to send it over to Ability. I think has a couple interesting facts about this series. Just Tap It In and Vanilla Nut Taps.
Yeah, so I wrote a little something earlier. I did this for all the series that have been played so far, but I'll read you what I've got here. OP Jelly was the leading point producer for Just Tap It In, as he thrashed in 3 goals, 3 assists. Cosmic Fade nearly mimicked Jelly's numbers, adding in 3 goals and 2 assists of his own. Zelo carved out 2 goals and 4 assists, with Marty McFly slapping in a goal and Peaceful Bob putting up 2 assists. Esoteric led the offense for the Nut Tappers, sliding in 4 goals, 1 assist. Swagger, unable to score on his signature blue shot, because let's keep in mind in this series I was goalie. he worked the ice and found opportunities, smacking in 2 goals and 3 assists elsewhere. Dicko found some vanilla, putting up 1 goal and 3 assists. And Moose got milky for 1 goal and 2 assists. And Demented Spud went postal for 1 assist. Chew Therapy played great in net for the Nut Tappers. He finished the series with a 0.827 save percentage, 2.97 goals allowed, as the Nut Taps just tapped it in for a vanilla finish. That's what I wrote. But yeah, Chew Therapy, man. Last night the guy played phenomenal, and I got to give you this bit of information. Game 2, he and I are both pitching a shutout with a minute to go in the game. And I think there's like 53 seconds. And I want to say it was, Moose. I think Moose he got a pass in right in front of me, and I hit it off my left pad. Just saved it. And poor Zelo comes running into the net, and he hit me, and the darn puck went in and killed him. We ended up losing 1-0. That was a fantastic game. But Chew Therapy, we actually were sending G-chat messages back after the first game. We were putting on a little bit of a show out there. It was fun. Good series.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, I was fortunate enough to be able to watch that series at work. Wednesdays are my late days. So I sat down and I said, what series do I want to watch? And I know that things ran a little late. There were some issues with weather and connections. That was such a fun game to watch, man. Like, both goalies were on point. Shout out to Ability. He had a great series altogether. I mean, even that game 1 really could have went either way. It was super exciting. Game 2 was phenomenal. I was unfortunately not texting with Ability, but I was texting in the chat with Chew Therapy, and it was phenomenal, man. It was so fun to watch. I prefer games like that. Games where you got at that point, Vanilla Nut Taps had won the series, but it was nice to see Tap It in come back game 3. Goals. I think it was 6 goals, 6-3, 6-4 final, whatever it was. P4LE, what do you think about this series, man? It was a pretty tight series, back and forth. Moving forward, who do you think's more real deal, the Nut Taps or Tap It In?
Well, I mean, if we want to go look at my prediction thread
that you hijacked from me, by the way.
I've got Vanilla Nut Taps as the better of the 2 teams here. I didn't get to watch the series. I was playing in my own series. But yeah, I think that they've got a little bit more offensive firepower than Cosmic and Friends.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, P4LE. Look, man. Look, bro, what did you say? I had a feeling that was going to be the answer right there, so I just made this for you in advance.
That's fantastic. Man. Like, that's so good. Yam. That's fantastic. What do you think? McFade, first-time captain. Esoteric, first-time captain. 2 very different draft strategies. Cosmic went with a lot of his buddies. Eso went with some of the knowns in the league, McSwagger. Did this series kind of play out how you thought it would, or are you shocked by the results?
Nah, I think Vanilla Nut Taps is the better team. I think they're more balanced, and even though McSwagger's the guy we love to hate, I still think he's a good partner for Eso. I'm sorry. Sorry, Eso. Don't get all fucking email me.
Sorry. He's already there.
Yeah, probably. I think Eso is more like a very, very good number 2 skater, like a very good number 2 scorer. And I think a dangle dick like McSwagger is the perfect combination for him. So I think they're going to score a lot of goals, and I think Esso's, he's good in the defensive end. So I think they have a better team overall. But I mean, Cosmic team is kind of a wild card because nobody fucking knows who they are, and Cosmic's kind of like a madman that wants to fight every captain every series. So we'll see how they turn out. But yeah, I think Esso's team is better, so I think the better team won.
Yeah, and I'll give my 2 cents. I like the Vanilla Nut Taps, man. They're very deep. I said at the beginning of the year I thought Chew Therapy was going to have a phenomenal season, and he's kind of started that. But as well as Ability, man, I said in my thing to kind of be that backbone for this team. I see struggles on defense. I watched the game. I saw the struggles there as well, but he was able to come up to the occasion, and that team is going to score goals. That team that just happened in, they are going to score a lot of goals. They have Cosmic Fade. They have Jelly. There's chemistry there. There's going to be goals that are scored, but the defense concerns me. The defense also concerns me on Vanilla Nut Taps, and I'm going to tell you why. Last night I saw it in Game 3. Now the series was already over. It was done. That's fine. But McSwagger went back to being the McSwagger that I know, and I saw him start to cherry pick and float up. And there was a lot of plays that had the wingers been back, had the center been back, those plays wouldn't have happened. Goals wouldn't have been scored, but they're trying to shoot the goal or shoot the zone offense first, and it backfired. That's the concern I have with this team. My opinion, obviously, I've seen it before. So I'm going to go back to it, man. I thought McSwagger made strides last year in the playoffs. I watched those series, and I feel like he's falling back into old habits. Dude, the offense is there. Play defense. You got to play defense. You have to do it. So, again, the Nut Taps come out. It was a fun series to watch. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out moving forward. Second series. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick. That I might have gotten a message from McSwagger after Game 2 that said something to the effect of, "Come on, dude, let me score one." So it's possible that he could have been a little bit flustered going into that Game 3.
And that would have made like 100% sense. Like, I understand he wants to make plays. That's what, Esso wants him to do. But he's got to focus on the defensive aspect. It's going to come. The goals are going to come. The guy scores fucking goals all the time. They're going to come. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. So we'll see how it plays moving forward. But they were able to get the series win and a nice start for Esso and the guys, and even for Cosmic to get 2 points out of your first series, man. I think it was good all around. So next series we have Jaeger Bombs bomb team. We've never seen anything like that in this league because the only other one was DJ's fucking shit show of a team that didn't win any fucking games, 3 maybe, versus Strictly Business. Strictly Business is Tomahawk's team. Now, I know that there was like tornadoes and like fucking fire drills and like Wizard of Oz shit going on in fucking Kansas or wherever the hell Tomahawk's from. So it's understandable that this shit got a little bit fucking wonky. Maybe that had something to do with why the stats were a little fucked up, but we've got it since corrected. I liked Jaeger. I called Jaeger Bombs in the sweep. P4LE, are you surprised by the outcome here for the Jaeger Bomb squad?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty surprised. Like, I don't know. Luka had a game, and I think that's what he's going to have to do the whole season. I don't want to say that I doubted that Luka could do that, but I think that the Tomahawks team, it's a hard team to judge what Tomahawks got going on over there. So I don't know. I think these two teams matched up pretty well, and the stats kind of bear that out. I think all the series actually last night did.
Here's the thing about Jaeger Bombs. When you look at the roster, you got B. Cripps in net. That's a starting point. He's one of the best goalies around. Then you got Renton and Valcor on D. Valcor doesn't get enough due in this fucking league. I don't know why everybody shits on the guy. I think he's a good D-man. That's me personally. So my opinion is my opinion, and that's what it is. Renton, another guy, very offensive, but also very good defensively. I like that. Sniper moving up to left wing after playing D last year. You got Luka in the middle, and then Dunn playing right wing. Luka's made it around him better. So I don't see there being any issues personally. I think Sniper's going to have a good year. I think that, what's his name? I think Dunn's going to have a good year. And this is Dunn's first real full-time gig, and he's captaining and he's playing up front. Luka's kind of the catalyst for this team. When I look at Tomahawk's team, it's tough because, again, you have the Mac North trade first and foremost. It was supposed to be Gage, but Gage didn't show up. You got Figo, who's got the availability of a fucking, home internet, right? You never know where he's going to be. So it's kind of tough. Hellcat is solid on the back end. I like that. And then Tomahawk did one thing right. It was getting those two on his back end. So yeah, I'm going to send it to you, man. What do you think? Right outcome here. Jaeger Bombs, with the way the roster is constructed, were they supposed to win last night?
Yeah. Tomahawk's team, they were a mess. I think at one point they had 2 people that were online because there was tornadoes and monsoons and the end of the world was coming or something like that. And then they wound up getting 5 and the rule with the 5 people was all fucked up and, they played somebody in the wrong position. They lost and the other team still complained. That's fucking normal. But yeah, I mean they were missing who did they trade for Joe again? What's his name? I'm sorry, I don't know the guy.
North.
The Mac North was missing, so in theory their first round pick wasn't even there. So right off the bat, you're behind the eight ball. If you take any team and take away their first round pick or their quote unquote best player, they're probably going to lose the series right off the bat. So getting swept isn't a surprise, but hopefully Tomahawk adjusts and he gets his shit back together and Mac North shows up. That'd be perfect for his team, I think.
Well,
Hey,
they
Ability.
actually took a game too.
They did.
Yeah.
They were able to take one out.
Yeah, I was going to make the correction there because there's
thank
definitely
you.
strictly
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was my
business
fault.
going on.
I called the sweep, but it wasn't a sweep. That was 1-800 my bad. So call and leave a message after the beep. Ability, do you have any keynotes for the series? Anything that happened or?
Yeah, I got Luka putting up 5 goals, 2 assists. He reached his 94th career point. He's played 30 games. He's got 94 points on record. Sniper scoped in a goal, had 2 assists. You don't know, he had 3 goals, 1 assist. Renton and Valcour, he's had an assist. B-Crips, man, the hype is real on this guy. I mean, I never met him. I heard you guys talking about him pre-draft. He comes out of the gate, got a .854 save percentage and 2.02 goals allowed. So that's fantastic. On the other end, we got Wizzy War. He was the charge for Strictly Business. He had 3 goals, 2 assists. Notorious Figo had 2 goals, 3 assists. No Life Gage had 1 and 1, and Cody had 3 assists. Reb Hellcat, she also had 1 assist, but all for naught because it ended up being in a losing effort.
Yeah, and again, shout out to both those teams. Shout out to Tomahawk, first-time captain. First series, you wanted to go smooth. That did not happen for him. I know that, like, first-time captain, you just want everything to work out. Everybody shows up. Let's have rainbows and butterflies, and let's smoke some dope and, like, get it done. But that didn't happen last night because there was fucking tornadoes pulling up houses over in Mac Northland. So, but shout out to him, man. He handled everything, the way that he should. He was in communication, and that's all we can ask for to try and make it right. So, shout out to him. Moving on, Wolfpack HC versus Winter is Coming. I'm going to give my breakdown. Wolfpack with the two games to 1 win here. I think P4LE was able to take 3 points, if I am correct in saying so. Yeah. So one was an overtime loss.
4 points, actually.
Oh, 4 points.
Wait, all 3 games went to OT.
Holy shit. Oh, yes, this is the series. Okay. And Wolfpack HC led by Cameron. Shout out to him, man. Cameron. They're over 500, man. It's fucking fantastic, dude. I love it. I just love it. So shout out to him, man. I took a little rib in my radar earlier. But shout out to him. Congratulations on getting off to a positive start. And so the strategy seems to be working. The other league that they play in, chemistry is there. I always say that it's always rough when you bring new guys in because you always tend to overdraft them because you don't want to not get them. It's like Yambag when I bring guys in just cock blocks me. So I always have to take them fucking early. So I know exactly what Shock's going through. So I know why he took Thompson round 2 and Clancy or Clarence, whatever the hell that kid's name is. I'll learn it. Start doing some shit. I'll learn your name. Taking these guys early, it makes sense. I didn't know what to make of this team, but the one thing he did do right is he got Drug Monkey on D. I love that pick because Shock has always struggled with his back end since season 0 or 1. So I love that pick. I predicted when it was coming. This was my loss, P4LE. This was my fucking loss.
Yeah.
What happened, man? Give me the lowdown, dude.
I mean, Wolfpack HC is a good team. Like, they had their chemistry going. I was surprised to see Shock on D with Drug Monkey, but it worked for them. I mean, they had good defense. Their offense was on point. It was dangerous. It was, it was crazy looking. Like, it was hard to defend those guys. And then you have who's his goalie? Shock's goalie is Shock. I'm sorry to whoever your goalie is.
Thomp's is the goalie.
Okay, yeah, Thoms. Yeah. So this guy I scouted, and I was getting ready to take him in the 3rd round as a winger, and Shock's over there takes him 2nd round, and he's playing net for him. So yeah, shout out to that guy because he can apparently play everywhere. But yeah, I mean, look, our offense didn't get off on the start that we thought that it was going to, and but we were able to keep it in it. Shout out to Master Shotgun back on my goal line, as he played out of his mind in this series. We got outshot every game, I think, and he really held us in it. You know, I messed with my lineup a little bit. I played 2 games at forward, 1 at D, and the one at D we ended up winning in game 3. So we had a fun series. It was back and forth. It was pretty even the whole time. I mean, all 3 games went to overtime, all 1-goal games. Yeah, that series was a fun series to be in. I wish we would have come out on top. We could have a couple times. There's a couple of posts in OT, but that's the way it rolls sometimes.
Ability, do you got any interesting tidbits for me at all about this series, please?
Yeah, Brick City kept the hype going and made Pale look pretty good. I mean, made him look smart again. He put up 4 goals, 2 assists. On the opposite end, Ozzy and Nick the Greek, they rolled out. They had 6 goals. They combined for 6 goals and six assists. Clancy also had 1 goal, and he dished out 6 assists. Drug Monkey had 1 goal. I don't know, man. That seems kind of low for the first rounder. Oh, that is what it is. And Shock had 2 assists. I got to chirp Drug a little bit. He knows I think the heavens of him.
And here's the thing, man. Drug is, to me, he's that stay-home guy you want. He's very comparable to that of a no cause. He is. He's not like offensively anemic. Like, he's not bad at it. He focuses so much on the defensive aspect. Like, you're not getting by me. You're not getting into my zone. You're just not. That's why he's elite. That's why he went where he did. Shock is not going to hate that pick at all. Fuck the points. Who gives a shit about the points? It's going to be tough to
score. Scored the OT winner game 1.
Okay, so there you go. So he got his due. He got his shot, baby. He got his motherfucking goal. And he only scores big fucking goals. It's cool. Yeah, did the right team win the series? I mean, I'm wrong. I suck cock. So Wolfpack, who won this one? Did the right team win this one, Yam?
Well, I mean, they have chemistry from the other league or whatever. But every time there's one of these teams every season. There's always that team that they pick their buds, or they got chem with that guy, or whatever it is. And like, if you want to refer to that gift that you posted to me from House of Cards, like that just shaking your head thing, that's usually the reaction of that team, because they usually fucking blow. So it's good to see a team that kind of put their boys together and they came out with a series win. And Shock's he's captained every season so far. So it's good to see him get off to a good start. And I want to chalk that up to chemistry, because they know each other. The start of the season is usually a time when guys will figure out who can play with each other. So those guys already know what they're doing, and they got Drug Monkey. So Drug Monkey is a good pick too. I was looking at him also. I was actually debating going to left D to.
I was fucking taking him. I was taking him.
I mean, Shock got him, and a good thing. The good side is that at least Shock isn't drafting awful every season. He's getting better with his picks. So I think they're off to a good start. I don't know if they're a playoff team, but it's all about how you start. So if they get a good run of series to start the season, they can kind of coast into the playoffs. Just let you know, I got to get out of here after this. My team is on the practice to play you. Murph's coming for you, he said.
Fucking practice.
It's 9 o'clock, dude. I run a tight ship.
Who needs practice?
I showed up my series. We practice. If you want to take notes, I'll give you some. I wanted to tell you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hashtag, hey, Yambag doesn't have the island, boys. He's got the booze cruise. Hashtag booze cruise for Yambag.
Booze cruise. So I'm going to jump off, but I'm going to be streaming my games tonight. It's twitch.tv/Yambag021. Thanks for having me on the show. I will see you guys later. I'll see you in about 45, 50 minutes, whatever it is. And I'll tell you guys later.
Hey,
right?
I'm going to be late 10 minutes. I need 10 minutes. How about that?
Whatever. We'll take it.
I need 10. Thanks.
You're getting feedback tonight.
So I can practice. I need 10 minutes so I can practice, Yam.
Yeah, you're getting teabagged later.
You see how I handled that? That's how you handle Yambag. All right. Oh, shit. He's still here. All right. He's gone now. That's how you handle fucking Yambag. You see what I have to deal with every day? You know what? I could not imagine being married to that guy. I just couldn't do it. I'm done. Anyways, so again, Wolfpack HC. Is that right? Yeah. Shout out to Cameron. Finally. I didn't want to see Fear the Wolf again, so shout out for that. You know what, man? Like I said, winter's coming. how can I bet against Brick? How can I bet against Pale? I don't regret what I did. There was too many question marks. I had too many question marks as far as how that team was going to come out, how that team was going to play. They proved me wrong. Congratulations. If you prove me wrong, I am A-okay admitting that, and that's exactly what happened. So shout out to Cameron. Great start to the season. Moving along, this was the sweep. 1-800-MY-BAD. Black Sails, a Hugh Laurie Goldencock team facing off against new captain Dank, a.k.a. the Old Dad Specials. Jesus Christ, that gets me every fucking time I say it, literally every time. And every time I have to see my mug on this thing, that gets me too. No shock here. I did predict the sweep here. The sweep came through. I really think, personally, having no center is going to hurt that team. Dank is not a center. Sober is not a center. And who am I missing? Dank, Sober, and
Burks.
And thank you, Burks. None of those guys are center. Forget faceoffs. Okay, your aides at faceoff. Someone's got to play the middle, and none of those three guys are the two-way guy that you're looking for. They all play good defense, but playing center D is completely different than playing winger D. So you have three wingers out there. I think that ultimately hurt them last night, and I think that Dank ultimately is going to have to move somebody. My personal opinion on the matter. What do you think? Are you surprised by the outcome, Pale? That, Hugh, DeMart, Joe Thornton, like you start looking at this roster. Are you surprised by the outcome at all?
I really like Hugh Laurie's team. I think he got DeMart. He traded all the way up to the first to get DeMart, and he kind of got gifted Joe Thornton in the second round. I think he fell way too far. So he's got a really good basis along with himself there. And I just think that he's going to be one of the better teams in the league. Dank's team, on the other hand, I don't think that, they're the worst team from last night. I think that they just got into a bad matchup with Hugh's team there. And I think they're going to be able to recover after this. I mean, look, you got Dank, Burks, and Sober. They're going to score goals, and they're going to get on the board. You got one of Shock's ringers, Pogs, on the back end there, along with, Dank's ringer, Cortez. We'll see what they can do. I mean, it's only one game. It's only 3 games. It's only one series. I don't think that I can say that I was totally not expecting that. But I think that he's still got a good team, and I think they're going to be able to be a playoff squad this season. What do you think, Ability?
Well, I think that, looking at it, I played with DeMart, I played with Sober, I played with Burks on teams, I played with Dank on teams. I wouldn't have guessed a sweep in this series. It's kind of interesting the way some of the stuff panned out here. I mean, shout out to DeMart, because at all the numbers I looked at today, and I didn't look at all of them, but out of the ones I did look at, he put up his 265th career point in that series. That's a lot. He's killing it. But I'm checking this out. Dank didn't have a goal. He went goalless in that series. That's surprising. I mean, in the series we played, when I was on his team, he was putting up goals quite often. So to get shut out, I mean, 3 games in a row, that's kind of mind-boggling to me. I don't see anything here really. I mean, I haven't played with Superstar, so I don't know how talented he is. Hugh, no cause. I've heard enough about them to know they're good, but I still wouldn't have guessed a sweep in this one. I would have thought that Burks and Sober would have been able to conjure up enough offense, especially just having Dank somewhere on the ice, that goals would have went in all over the place. So I'm surprised by this one. I wouldn't have guessed a sweep.
And I think ultimately, 37 was great last night. Jim Flanagan was great last night for the Old Dad Specials. It was a goalie matchup. I saw a couple of those games, and Jim Flanagan, Mr. Hollywood, played out of his mind last night. So shout out to him. Ultimately for me, I predicted the sweep, obviously. So I, for once, knew what I was talking about. But when I looked at the roster, there's so many question marks on ODS. I tell you the solution. I know Pogs is a really good center. So there's your answer there. But obviously now you have a backlog. So who's getting moved for a D-man? And question 2 being, is there a D-man available to be moved? So, there's a lot of things that play into it. But again, I'm not surprised with the outcome. I think Dank has his work cut out for him. I think they can score a lot of goals. But there's question marks on D. And can Jim Flanagan play like that every night? I don't know. So to me, there's still a lot of questions here. But I'm hoping that Dank can figure out. He's got a nice group of guys there, and I think Sober can help him out a lot with that too. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was the 4 games on the slate last night. Crazy stuff, man. Off to a good start. We're jumping right into it because you know how these shows go, man, and the time is so fast. So I'm just going to start alphabetical order on the rosters. I'm going to go over the roster. I'm going to give my opinion, and P4LE completely fucking jacked. But that's why I wrote season predictions and not X Daly's predictions. So it was a collaborative effort. He was, I think P4LE was feeling pretty good when he did his.
Yeah, I was a little toasty.
I thought you were feeling pretty good. Can I tell a story on air about something that happened at the gym today that I feel like I need to tell somebody?
Go for it.
All right, man. So there's this guy at my gym. His name is Eugene, first of all. That's never a good fucking start. When your name is Eugene, not a good start. So I don't really friends with him, but you see the same people at the fucking gym all the time. So that's what Eugene is. Eugene is always fucking naked. Always naked.
At the
but
gym?
That's fine. Well, that's fine. Be naked. Cool. But Eugene wants to come and talk to you while he's naked. And he doesn't put a towel on, and he doesn't have any common courtesy. He comes up free and weird, all in your face. And how do you focus on the conversation when like some 50-year-old dude is naked standing in front of you? It's just really tough to really focus on what's happening without being completely. I just had to tell someone, and like I came right from the gym, and I just had to get that out. It was bothering me. So thank you, everybody, for listening to my story about Eugene and his penis that he doesn't put away.
Please, Daly, tell us more.
I love the rainbow pisser, man. It's fucking fantastic. Really, it's. I don't know how you. I love you.
Are you sure in some subconscious way you aren't enticing these conversations with naked Eugene at the
gym? You might be honest. Anyways. Someone's been asking me to do that on air, but I don't think it's happened. I just don't think it's come across yet. I don't know. Keep it for the most part pretty professional until I talk about Eugene's penis. So anyways, moving along. Black sales. So what we're gonna do here, guys and gals, we're gonna break down the rosters, give our opinions. What do we think? I don't necessarily, we can give predictions. I'm sure we'll pick our winners, stuff like that. But let's start with the black sales. We just got them talking about them. You got Hugh Laurie, no Colorado, D-Mart, Soldier Up, aka DJ, picked Superstar up off waivers, Joe Thornton, and Black Sook. Here's my opinion. I think there's a lot of moving parts on this team, even though Hugh Laurie is going to literally MF the fuck out of me after this. Here's the problem. He had to bench DJ game 1. No cause is the priority. When no cause can play and is part-time, no cause plays. And you have 37 playing part-time as well. Okay. And then DJ's kind of like that odd guy out. Now he's carrying 7, so he has Black Sook, but Black Sook isn't here for the first 2 weeks of the season, so he can't play Black Sook in any of those series. So if anybody misses, he's going to definitely have to use a waiver. A little bit of emo. If you're DJ, gets drafted round 3, all of a sudden finds himself on the bench. The guy 5, and that's no cause, because if no cause is playing full time, he'd be drafted before DJ. Point being, I think there's a lot of moving parts on this team. They're still going to be a good team. I predicted them 6 to 8 in my write-up. I might have been high when I did that, especially being a Danny Martin team. But again, it's tough for me. I think he made the right decision putting Joe Thornton on right D. Joe should be playing there because he's not good at left wing. He plays left-handed. I like right D. It fits him. He could easily move himself into the elite names. I'm talking Drug Monkey. I'm talking Sea-Doo. He can move himself into that category. I do think it is a playoff team. No doubt about it. P4LE, what do you think about Black Sales roster?
Yeah, I had him at number 5 in my little mock-up thing that I did, and I think that's about right. Like, there's a lot of guys moving around on this team, you know. Who plays left wing, who plays right D, who plays left D one night. There's a lot going on there, and even the goalie is part time too. So I think that some nights they're going to come out and they're going to look like one of the best teams in the league, and other nights they're going to come out and they might look a little flat. I think that's what you get for drafting a million part-time people and having so many moving parts. But end of the day, I think that they can be one of the better teams in the league in those nights where they've got their best lineup in. And I think that elevates Hugh's team. So, yeah, maybe I dropped them down a couple of spots in my prediction here because of how many people are moving around. But I think that they've definitely got a great team. You can't really go wrong with D-Mart or Hugh at forward. And Joe Thornton is a great player in himself that can play really anywhere.
I'm looking at ability, and he seems to be like way different of opinion on us. What do you think, man?
I think that sometimes you guys miss little things about certain players that drive other players just crazy. And I can tell you right now that going up against a lot of these other teams, D-Mart happens to be one of those very frustrating players. And it's not because he's always doing something spectacular. It's just because he wants the puck. And if you've got the puck, he's going to find a way to get the puck. And that drives people crazy. It can break down team chemistry like that when they just can't gain control of it. I think that this team is easily probably top 4 team. I'm going to put him in the 4th slot. If I were to make a list, that's probably where I'd stick him. I think there's way too much talent on that team for them to fall any lower than the 4th position. Although P4LE gave a very safe answer, some nights they are going to come out and probably look a little bit flat. Other nights are going to come out and look like the best team in the league. That's probably exactly what's going to happen, but I say that it happens more towards the great side than the bad.
So I guess we're all pretty close on, how we're viewing the team 4, 5, 6. It's fair to say, with the potential to be even higher than that. Fair assessment. Yeah. I think we're pretty much all on the same page there. Moving along to boys. My team, Daly Lama making his 239 debut this season. Pounders making his 239 debut this season. Thamps is back after a season with the Mongo Tards. Odd Guy's back after a season with the Mongo Tards. You guys don't understand what a season on the Mongo Tards can do to you. Fuck you up pretty bad. Then you got King Rome back after a hiatus. Time to get Steven not drafting a terrible fucking 6-win team, and yours truly on the back end. P4LE, I'm just going to send it to you. I'm not going to assess my own team. Go.
Yeah, so I've got your team at number 3. I think that you're obviously one of the better teams in the league. That also comes with a little bit of personal bias because I had Rome and Daly Lama both pretty high on my draft board, and I was planning on taking them maybe a couple picks later than you were in both rounds. So that kind of sucked. I mean, look, I got the guys that I wanted in the 1st and 2nd round, and I'm happy with my team as is. But I had Rome right where I was picking around 2nd in my 2nd round, so at around 15. I thought that he might be there. I think that he's worthy of where you picked him at, and I think he's definitely going to be a great top-line center for you. So Daly, Rome, and Thamps, awesome line to start off with. Daly is probably going to miss some games for you. I don't know what your backup plan there.
2 series.
2 series? Okay.
Yeah, I had a couple reschedules. 2 series.
Yeah? Okay. That's good. So, yeah, you're looking pretty and then you got Drift King. Is he going to be missing game 3s? I guess that's the big question.
My backup plan, I move Odd Guy to net or myself to net. Odd Guy to right D, Pounders to lefty. So we'll see what happens, but that's my plan. Ability, what do you? Well, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, finish up, P4LE. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, that's a solid pickup, too, in the 6th round. I thought Pounders went a little late compared to what his skill set is. I played a couple games with him, and I thought he was a good player. So, yeah, like that's a perfect pickup for, when you need somebody else to step in.
What do you think, Ability, man? Be easy on me.
I'm going to try. I think I don't mean to play devil's advocate when I step up on the screen here. It's did you guys listen as I just listened to what was said? Like players maybe missing game 3s and having to swap this guy for that guy. There's no way that this is a top 3 team. And it's not because the talent's not necessarily there. It's just because when you start moving stuff around like that, it just doesn't mesh as well as you hope it would. Now, there's some key points, right? You got Daly playing the right D, so possibly you could throw Odd Guy in net, and Odd Guy could be safe there. I've seen Odd Guy play net, but I don't know how often he plays net. I think King Rome, I got a chance to play with him, and I've heard all the hype on King Rome, and I'm not saying that any of it's false. I'm pretty sure based on what I've heard, he's a fantastic player. But the game I watched him play, he did not play fantastic. So going off that and everything you just said about moving players in and out, I'm going to say this team falls somewhere around the 6 or 7 mark.
Fair assessments, man. I appreciate everybody's opinion, and that's how it is. I won't
Plus
break
you didn't
my.
draft me.
What's that?
I said, plus you didn't draft me, so there you go.
Oh yeah, there is that. Ooh, I'm sorry about that, by the way. But yeah, man, you know, I am one of those guys who goes into every draft. I have about 4 or 5 different strategies always. And this was honestly one of the ones that I had. I literally on my sheet, I wish I had it still, had odd guy round 5 lefty literally written down on my sheet. And I don't know why you guys let him fall to me again. I'm literally grooming a left D to literally be my perfect D partner. And 239 is allowing that to happen. What is wrong with you guys? You're crazy. But I thank you. I thank you. So enough about my team. You guys know where I think my team's going to end up. So I'll leave it at that. Moving along, we got the Chilean Raw Doggers. Easily my favorite name, and it's a gunning team, so why should I not love the team name? He always has fantastic names. You got DC, Dropped a Crap, Savvy, Legion, Gunny himself, who, by the way, changed your name on the site back to I'm Not Your Dad USMC, because if I had to look at Mopar Walk one more time, I was going to have to, like, end myself. So I changed that, and you have Slick and Edge. Now, I will start by saying this. DC Sabby, Mongo Tards last year. A lot of Mongo Tards playing together. They must have all really liked each other. But I like the chemistry aspect. Throwing Edge into that mix is a great thing. Dropped a Crap, I think, can easily carry a D pair. I was going to actually, in one of my draft strats, I had him as my left D partner. I think that would have been stupid for the league, and I think it would have been unfair. So I'm glad that didn't work out. But he's a fantastic D. I think gunning on right D makes the most sense. It's his primary position, and Legion is more than serviceable in that, and I mean that with the 100% confidence. He has his moments of, like, complete derp, but he is proven that he can be a serviceable D-man, and you have Drop, and you have, Gunny back there. I think it works. I think this team's really, I know I kind of was like, I think they have the potential to be good. And I was kind of hard critic on Sabby, and here's why. I don't think Sabby realizes how good he actually is at creating space. And Sabby has this really natural ability to carry the net. If he just makes that extra pass, and that was what I was kind of getting at. There's a lot of times last year he created space he didn't even realize he created. I'm looking at him like, if you would just pass it, dude, that's a tap-in. And I talked to him earlier today, and we had a nice conversation. I think he realizes it now, and I think you could see a different Sabby this year. And if you do, this team could really go. I think I might be in the minority on this and thinking the Chilean Raw Doggers might actually have a decent season. But what do you think about this team, Pale?
Yeah, so I don't really know Drop D Crap, and he's the guy that's like, you know, is the guy that's going to make or break the team, I think. You know, that's the guy that Gunny built his defense around. So I went into my write-up, and I'm just like, I don't know either of these guys, Drop D Crap or Silk. I think Silk is going to be playing right D with Gunny and net. I don't know if Legion's going to be in net right off the bat. Maybe he does go there at some point. And you've got Sabby. I think he normally prefers left wing. He's going to be playing right wing because Edge is going to be on the left. Yeah, I'm not too high on this team. I guess it really depends on how good Drop D Crap is. Is he elite? Can he carry a team? I don't really know. So yeah, that all being said, I do not have them in the playoffs. I got them as one of the teams that missed. I don't know. They could surprise. What do you think, Ability?
I think that it's going to be difficult for all teams to make the playoffs this season because there's some serious talent. These guys here, it's a talented group. I know a couple of these players. I know Desired Customs. I know Edge. I know Silk. I know Legion. I don't know if they have some high caliber players on here. Okay, not to nitpick anyone in particular. They have some not so high caliber players on here. So I don't know exactly where this team's going to fall. I don't want to put them dead last because I think that's just me. I'm going to go with the 10th spot. I'll at least give them that. They could surprise too. It depends how the offense plays on this team. The defense, actually, it just depends on how this team plays. I mean, maybe they can get some chemistry going. I don't know.
I definitely think, to your point, it's going to have to be one of those teams that's going to, outscore you. Defense could be an issue. Again, though, I'm looking at it. I know the kind of two-way center that DC plays. I really like the way he plays. I know what Sabby brings to the table. I saw what Edge brings. For me, Gunny's going to be happy because I actually really like this team, and I think this could be my dark horse for the season. Call it a hunch, call it what you want, but I think this fucking crazy Chilean raw doggers thing might actually work. So I'll leave it at that. I think it could work. So I'll be paying close attention to this team. I have some investment in this team now. So we'll see. I could be fucking completely wrong, and P4LE and Ability will have no problem shitting all over my face. So they might be waiting for the moment to do that. But I got some faith. So moving along, Church of Yam, and I get my first look tonight. Yam was feeling really fucking confident on the way off the show today. He seems to really think Murph's talking a little shit. So left wing position's feeling good. You got Dominator Silva. Agent's running up the gut if he shows up. He didn't show up for media today. But if he shows up for a series, that could be nice. And then you got Hollywood Bob, middle and net, solid, and Yambag. So I guess the real question is going to be on defense. Lefty, is the line the real deal? Dominator Silva was pitching that earlier, saying he is the real deal. I don't know the guy, so I can't attest. I can't speak. I know Hollywood Bob is serviceable, but I think that, tough right wings are going to eat him up. Danny Martins of the league. You got Thamps. There's a lot of good right wings in this league, and I think that's McSwagger. He's got to be thrown in the mix. So lefties got a tough task with some of these right wingers this year. Overall, I like the makeup. I think Dominator Silva does. He is a player that doesn't get enough credit for making people around him better. He moves the puck well. He's got nice vision, and he can finish. He can drive the net, he can finish goals. That's big. Murph's a question mark. He hasn't played here, but I know him from other leagues. I actually have never played against him, but from everything that I hear, he's a really good player. Yam thought good enough to take him in round one. Middle and net is going to be the difference maker. I know the guy can change games. P4LE, he's a buddy of yours. What do you think of the Church of Yam roster?
I really like their offense. I think their offense is pretty excellent. Agent was a steal in round 4. I think he probably should have gone early, especially with the dearth of centers in the league. But so this team is really going to come down to whether either Yambag can carry a defense or whether Mitogaren can bail out a defense enough times for his offense to make up for the D. I think they're a bubble team. I think they probably squeak into the playoffs as Yam teams normally do. And I think that they'll be there. I think they'll be right on the cusp of making the playoffs and making an impact. What do you think of Billy?
I think that sometimes some players have this natural ability to draw out the competitiveness of other players. And in this case, something that Daly will have going against him tonight, and you'll have going against you when your team meets up with the Church of Yam, is that P4LE, you really rubbed Agent the wrong way when you took the title last season. Man, I know that the little chirps, they seem innocent and kind of like, oh, little hearts flying around the screen. I don't think so, man. I think Agent has a bone to pick with you, and he is coming for you. So I think he's going to play well. And I also, you guys are witness to this, but I said I think Agent was top 20 pick worthy. So, yeah, he did go a little bit late in the draft. Mito in net, that guy is fantastic. Everybody seems to love the way that he plays goaltender. I haven't been able to watch him, but I played a couple games against him. Haven't been able to really watch him, but I know that he's good. And if Dominator Silva says that the lime is the real deal, I've not ever witnessed Silva talk kindly if he doesn't think kindly. So I'm going to assume he's on point with that. The lime's the real deal. And Yambag, boy, what's that guy going to do? He's sporadic. He's like spontaneous. He can shoot the puck in from anywhere. So I think this team is probably, I don't want to say they're even a bubble team. I think this is a definite lock, one of the teams that will make the playoffs.
I'm kind of in the same. I think this is a playoff team, the way constructed. Let's talk about Agent for a second. Not even because he's not here. But yeah, I had an opportunity to take Agent. I could have put him on my wing. I think he's best suited for center. I really do. And I think that's where he's going to get an opportunity to play. I don't think I think if he really focuses on the two-way game, he's actually a very good face-off guy. He doesn't get enough credit in the dot. And I think that is an attribute that is super impressive or super important. Sorry, not impressive, important. And I think he holds that attribute. I think he's going to be a great player in the system. I think it was a perfect fit for him. And I don't think he's not a top 20 player. I think he easily could have went top 20. And I don't think anybody would have really said anything or questioned it. So I definitely agree with Ability on that. Didn't work out that way. There's a lot of guys. Sabby could have gone in the top 20. Who else? Dropped a Crap could have went in the top 20 and didn't. So there's a lot of guys out there that could have. I do think this is a playoff team as well. With that said, moving along, Dead Presidents. McGilla, you reused this team from like season 11 of another league. So I'm super disappointed in you for that. But Blue Liner, Jofus, McGilla, going back to lefty. Thank God. Joey Stopa, the bench warmer. NJ Devil, Biko, and John Monkey. Okay. Love the forward lineup. Biko, awesome two-way center. I gave him his little bit of due in the in my prediction thread. I've never played with the guy. I've never talked to the guy. But I've seen him play numerous times. Love the way he plays the game. Perfect. He's always on my draft list. He just always kind of goes in that in-between spot for me. But I love it. It's a force. Jofus is an offensive force. This is the perfect makeup. McGilla does it again. Love the forward lineup. The D is where it gets a little iffy. McGilla, top 4, top 5 in the league. I mean that. He really is. When he's on, McGilla is tough. I don't care what anyone says. McGilla is tough. Who's playing net? Is it Blue Liner or is it Devil? Not a bad problem to have. Apparently, they're both really good. I haven't seen either of them play. I know Blue Liner can play out. Pale, I'll send it to you. What do you think of the Dead Prez?
Yeah. So Blue Liner is going to be in net. I said it on my draft board or on my email to the captains. Devil can play both right D and net. I would play him at right D if I were to pick him. And that's where McGill is going to play him. He's a guy that can get the puck up quick. I don't think he's going to be out there turning anybody's heads, making crazy plays and stuff like that. But he's a really solid guy. And that's all that McGilla really needs on this team. He just needs somebody that can be solid and can be his opposite. I think the real question is what's going on up front. You got John Monkey, Biko, Jofus, and Stoey Jopa. Who's playing? Who's not? Who's sitting? John Monkey's got some MIA dates coming up, so I guess if McGilla wants to take a look at what he's got in the forward line that he drafted, he's got to get those in quick. So you'll probably see John Monkey, Biko, and Jofus tonight. And then there's going to be a couple of series in between there where you may see Stoey Jopa, or if McGilla decides to finally make a move and get one of these guys out of here for maybe an upgrade at a different position or maybe an upgrade outright on one of them, you could see a totally different lineup next week. It really just depends on what he's looking at to do. I had these guys rated really high before the Tomahawk trade. And picking up Stoey Jopa and knowing that that's eventually going to turn into an upgrade at a different position, or at least giving your team a different look here and there, I think that this is one of the best teams in the league. I've got them at number 2 in my prediction. I think that McGilla's got a squad. What do you think, Ability?
I think that you're probably accurate. I haven't played with Blue Liner. Or BCO. I played with John Monkey and Jofus McGilla. And one thing here about this team, and I don't even know if they're fully aware of it. I know apparently Jofus wants to play forward, but I played in net with McGilla and Jofus in front of me on D, left and right. And man, that combination of defensemen, I could have sat in net for 4 seasons and just been stoked. I'd had a little cocktail in my hand. No one was getting through. I didn't have to worry about any hard angled shots coming at me, nothing crazy. They've got that going as a backup plan, whether they know it or not. I think that I agree with you on this one, Pale. It's going to all rely on the offense. Let's see some chemistry. Let's see how the chemistry rolls out, what kind of plays they can put together, and how many goals they can put up on the board. That's ultimately going to drive their success. Without that, I don't know. I'm kind of interested to watch him play, though, now.
Yeah, and the thing about Jofis, man, he really is. He's one of those guys who's elite at more than one position. It's a very rare thing to see guys be an elite goalie or an elite center, but Jofis is an elite forward and he's an elite D. He used to be an elite centerman. He used to be one of the best, like literally one of the best. Yeah, I'm in the same, man. I like the way the team is. I do have the question marks on the back end who's playing right D, but again, there's enough talent here. I don't know if I'd have him at my 2. But I definitely have him up there. So playoff team, 100%. And it's a McGilla team, right? Guy never misses the playoffs. So wouldn't be any different if he's not going to miss them. Anyways, Jaeger Bombs, BC Renton, B Crips, Fitty 14, Sniper, Luca, Valcor, you done know. I am a believer in this Jaeger Bombs team. Now, I like Luca up the middle. I think that he does make everyone around him better. I think Sniper, Sniper needs to have here's the thing about Sniper. I think Sniper could, and I think he will. I'll say it. I think he'll have a breakout year. There's no reason to not believe in the guy. He's an elite goalie. He says, you know what? I want to play some lefty. Comes in, plays some lefty, kills it. Best D man on that pair, by the way. I won't say the name of the right D, the Norris caliber, fucking right D. AIDS. Sniper was the best D-man on that pair. No questions asked. Definitely not mid to low tier. The best on that pair. I like what they're doing up front. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. I like what they're doing up front. I think a full season of Dunn, I think that's great. We've seen him in part-time roles, part-time here, part-time there, utility, but it looks like he's going to have a stab at right wing all year. It'll be interesting to see how Fitty plays into this group. I love Valcor on the back end with Renton. Valcor is kind of that stay home. Renton's a little bit more offensive, but he is solid defensively as well. And you got the best goalie, arguably, around in net. Now, the big thing that I have with B-Crips is he going to be showing up every night. It looks like there's some questionable MIA, some very Drift King-esque shit on that sign-up. No offense, Steven. I love you, but your sign-ups are retarded. So, how does that play in? If the team starts to lose, do those games become more? I hope not. I hope it's not the case, because if B-Crip shows up, this team has a real chance to compete. Pale, what do you think?
Yeah, so Stealth Luca, he can't miss on that pick at number 2. He's going to be the guy that's, making or breaking this team. He's going to have a great year to be in the playoffs. So, that's obvious. Next, he goes B. Crips in net. Picks arguably the best goalie on the board. I think it's pretty consensus that everybody agreed that he was the best goalie on the board. So I guess picking him first, you're okay there. I don't like picking goalies that early, but, if he can steal games and he can be a true difference maker, then it makes sense. He goes Valcor after that, and looking at the D that's left on the board after he picks Valcor up, I think Valcor was the best D-man that was available. So he's got a goalie, a center, and a D-man in his first 3 picks, and that's what I think you need to do going into the draft. You load up in one position, and you end up having holes somewhere. I like this team. I think they're in that Yam bag range of like a bubble team. I think they're duking it out with Yam's team for a playoff spot. Maybe they surprise, maybe they don't. We'll see. I think that they're right in the mix there, though. What do you think, Ability?
I think that their goaltender is probably him. B-Crips, man, he's already at a .854. 2.02. From what I looked at, I think that's the second best overall goalie stats in the league right now, and that's just after one series. That trend's probably going to continue. I've heard a lot about that guy. Stealth Luca D, he comes out firing. He's got 5 goals, 2 assists. Even you done know. You done know. He's got 3 goals and an assist. I love that guy's name, by the way. man, this is, Sniper put up 1 goal, 2 assists. I don't know. Between them, they've got 9 goals after 1 series. They're posting 5 assists, 6 assists, sorry. 7, I might have miscounted, whatever. But I think that offense, fluidity, and they're going to have to dig deep. Just based off looking at the screen, I don't know if this team's going to put it together, not to beat some of the elite teams that we have out here. Are they an elite team? Do you guys think you're an elite team? Man, I don't know. I'm scratching my head on this one. There's faith here. They did good. They put up some points, but I want to see more. I want to see more, boys. Action.
I love it, man. Ability calling people out. You might just make it in this media thing because I do that shit all the time, and I love it. But yeah, those are all great points by both my colleagues here. It'll be interesting to see. But I like I said, I'm a believer in this team. I think they're a bubble team. But yeah, it's going to be. I think fluidity is a good word, and really getting consistent and seeing how it's going to compete every night, and that's the biggest thing. I don't see them getting swept. They're going to compete. So that's a big thing. Moving along, just tap it in. Rasta, Cosmic Fade, the young gun, is in here with Phoenix Rising, Cosmic Fade himself, OPY, KJ Jelly, I don't know, whatever, Peaceful Bob, Marty McFly on D, Ability and Nut, and Zlo, everyone's favorite stoner, Zlo. Okay, so, all right, man. Everyone says I'm the dick. Like, I'm the mean guy. But everyone's like, oh, Daly, you're too easy on your ratings. You're too easy. But then I turn the corner like, oh, you're an asshole. Like, what the fuck? You can't have it both ways. I think this is going to be a team that struggles. I'm sorry, Ability, but here's why. Here's why. It's not because of the goaltending. I saw firsthand last night when Ability is on his game. And when he's playing that game too, I kid you not, I'm not blowing smoke because he's on the show with me. That game too, when that goal went in, dude, I was like, no, not like that. Not like that. It can't be like that. I was so, it killed me because it was such a good game. And I hated to see it come down to a fucking terrible goal like that. That's not going to be the issue. I worry about lefty. Peaceful Bob looked a little bit slow on his breakouts last night. That's something that I noticed a little bit quicker there. Marty was solid defensively, maybe tried a little bit too much offensively. I know the offense struggled at times, but I was really happy to see 6 goals in game 3. That tells me that maybe this offense thing takes time. I feel like it's a lasting to really come together. Everybody, especially night 1, there was the 17 goals was the most scored in any series last night. Okay, that's a really low number. By my prediction, season 2, we were doing like 22, 23 a game. So 5 or a series. So 5 less than that. That's a really low number for me. So everybody was playing good defense last night. I think it'll come together. I'm excited to see 6 at the end. I just think that ultimately, if you're playing in games where you're having to get into potential shootouts like that, I don't know. It was so up and down. And then you have a 1-0 game. Then you have a 6-3 game. Then you have it's all over the place. It's a really hard judge. I think ultimately it's a team that will struggle, not just because of I don't think it's the lefty. I just think that the chemistry, it looked a bit off. Could just be night 1. But I just think that it looked a bit pale. What did you see? Are you disagreeing with me? What do you think, man?
No, I pretty much agree. I look up front and I see Cosmic Fade, OP Jelly, and Zelo. Zelo, I'm guessing, is going to be on right wing. I'm pretty sure he normally plays right-handed. I don't know if he's comfortable on that side. And then you've got OP Jelly and Cosmic Fade. Now, Cosmic Fade drafted Jelly to be his center. Then he's going into practicing, and OP Jelly's out there looking up how to win faceoffs while he's sitting in the penalty box in the middle of a game. So what do we got here as far as who's going to play center? I mean, I think I don't know. I didn't get to watch the series last night, so I don't know who played center. Did Jelly play center?
OP Jelly ran the table with faceoffs. He watched. He must have watched the greatest
So his
YouTube
videos helped him out, I guess.
Yeah.
But okay, so that takes care of one of my issues that I had with the offense here. But I mean, look, I look at the team and I don't know. Jelly's a question mark. Zelo, can he play on the right side? Cosmic's going to do his thing. Can Peaceful Bob be a guy that can complement Marty? Marty's going to want to get up in the play and take risks. Is he going to be able to shut down and be this great defenseman in front of Ability. I don't think there's any question in that. Ability is a great goalie. What do you think? What do you think, buddy?
Send it to the man himself, man. What do you think?
Well, look, if we're gonna be honest here, I can break it down for you real simple. you guys know this because we're in a little G chat together, and I expressed my concerns going into this. I have legitimate concerns. Had legitimate concerns. There has been huge strides made in 1 week's time, fellas. I mean, this went from a team where we were like, oh, hey, man, do you want the puck? Oh, dude, I don't know if I want the puck. Maybe you should just throw it against the boards. To like, oh, hey, dude, I'm open down here. Okay, boom, puck's already on its way. And I think that Bob and Marty, they are constructing a plan to take the defense by the balls. And so help me God, if we ever come across a team called boys, because we know how to handle them balls, we're going to crush people, man. This was one series. And I might have started off like, on the fence about it. But now this is full-fledged. This is Golden Palace type stuff. I'm expecting a trophy at the end of the season.
I love it, man. No, and that's the thing. You know what? People get mad at me all the time. They say, Daly, you're a cocky fuck. No, it's not cocky. It's confident. I'm confident in what I got. I'm confident in my team. And I'm happy that Ability is confident in what's going on over there. So shout out to all those boys, man. That's going to be interesting to watch. I have a little invested interest in them as well. I think Ability's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder here to kind of prove maybe some of those captains, hey, want to slide on me, bitches? I got you. Okay. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, no, shout out to those guys. It was a fun series for me to watch. And I'm sure Esoteric was sweating his balls off the whole time. Emo as fuck. So that makes me love it even more. Perfect. Moving along, strictly business. Okay. All right. Tomahawks had a very interesting first run at captain. He goes on the Sober Elitists. He says that I hit people. Dude, I've had like 6 hits in like my whole 239 career. So I don't know what scouting or. Then he goes out and trades his first round pick for a 6th round pick. It's been kind of crazy. There was a tornado that fell on his head, and things are happening. There are things going on, but let's look at the roster. Mac North, No Life Gauge, Notorious Figo, Rev Hellcat, the Tomahawk, Wizzy, and Cody. Guys, we're on 13 minutes here, and we got a couple more teams ahead, so I'm going to kind of go quick and send her along. But I wonder, Figo's not going to be there a lot. He says he's only missing 4 series, 5 series, but guess what? That's 15 of 33. That's a lot of games. I don't know anything about Gage. Kayla's a monster back there. Cody's a monster back there. Tomahawk's good in net. I like the back end. How are they going to score? That's my question. What do you think, Pale?
Yeah, look, anytime you trade your first-round pick for a 6th-round pick, you're going to lose goals, especially when you're trading them for a forward. He went in the 6th round because he was worthy of being a 6th-round pick. Maybe he should have gone a little bit higher, maybe not. But end of the day, Joe Stowe was a good player that you traded away for a guy that's maybe not so great. We'll see. We'll see what the results bear it out. I like your D. I think you got to trade one of the D pieces to get better on offense. That's what I think. Ability, what do you think?
Real quick, I think, Cody puts up 3 assists. Wizzy War, he's leading the pack here. 3 goals, 2 assists. Rev Hellcat. Ooh, I think this might come down to Figo, whatever. Man, how often is he going to play? How many goals is he going to put up? How many assists is he going to finish with? Points, man. This team needs points. That's it. I think Rev Hellcat by herself can probably handle a lot of the defense. Man, even on a 2-on-1 situation, she's a beast. I played with her. I was skeptical at first till I played with her. Fantastic. So let's see how many goals this team can conjure up and what kind of offense they can get going.
And Ability brings up a good point. Figo, I'm calling you out, dude. When you play in your win, your team has to win those games. You can't lose series when you're there. Guess what, man? I'm calling him out, Brick, or Pale. Brick's not there, buddy. You got to be the guy here. So he may be listening. He probably doesn't listen to the shows, but if he does,
he listens.
Oh, he listens? Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good. I'm calling you out, man. You got to be the guy. That means you got to take over, coaching, helping. Hey, I want you here, man. Hey, look for this. I'm going to do this next time. You got to be the guy. Brick's not there anymore. That's it. Leave it at that. Moving along, my favorite team, just because of the name, obviously, the Old Dad Specials. Oh, Just kidding. You thought I was going to do it, and I didn't. We got Dave Cortez, Jim Flanagan, Dank Love, the captain, Pogs, Punisher, Burke, Sober. I already told you my opinion, man. No center hurts this team. I think moving Pogs up front makes sense. Potential forwards for a right D also makes sense. Jim Flanagan was good last night, man. He really was. So that's a big plus for this team. Hopefully there's no, issues with that. I don't know a lot about Cortez. Dank proved last year that he's an elite guy, but he's got to get a center. So I think the piece that's going to give you the most value is going to be Sober. I think the piece that's most likely to be traded is Burks. What do you think about this team?
Yeah, I don't know whether he has to make any trades. I think Dank might just need to step up and do what you have to do as a captain and just say, okay, I've got a guy that can play center at a high level on my right D right now. I need somebody to go play right D, and I need my center to be a center. So either Dank's got to do it himself, or he's got to get one of these other guys to do it. So either you can make a trade and make that happen, or you just move some things around. I think that this is still a playoff team. I think they've got too much firepower to not be a playoff team. And Hollywood's solid in net. What do you think, Ability?
I think it's very possible that we could be witnessing a couple new captains to the league. Unfortunately, getting embedded with a little bit of that feeling like, oh, what did I get myself into? I think Dank may have suffered from that in the first series. And I'm not saying that to be mean to you, Dank. I'm actually I don't want to say calling you out, but in a sense I am. I think that 4 assists is only speaking a minute amount of what you got in the tank, kid. You got to come out there and you got to score some goals. I don't know if you know this or not, but I've seen Sober at his finest. He's phenomenal. He can pass the puck. He can dish it up just like you. You guys need to collaborate and make it happen. Burks is fantastic. If you dish him the point on any side of the net with any little bit of an angle, he can put that thing in over the goalie's glove. You guys have all the pieces. This is just team chemistry. Make it happen, fellas.
And so my colleagues obviously disagree with me, so I'm just going to go fuck myself now. You don't need to make a trade. You just need to figure your shit out. Bam! Moving along. Vanilla Dicko, great name, but you spelled it wrong with an L, dummy. Esoteric X, McSwagger, The Rock, Moose, Spud. Okay, a couple things. One, I told you guys Chewy was going to be good in net. Ability, you saw a little bit of that last night. Everybody was skeptical, blah, blah, blah. That's been answered. One series, yes, I know, but I'm telling you it's there, so we'll leave it. He's going to be a goalie. I wish sometimes you would just listen to me, but you people don't, but that is okay, and I love you all. Dicko, Swagger, partners. Esoteric, in the role that works best for him. He is no longer a playmaker. He is a goal scorer who plays good defense. I know that's a weird combination and tough to wrap our heads around, but it's the truth. Moose is diesel as fuck on left D. Chewy's diesel as fucking net. Spud is a very, very solid defenseman. He is playing as off D. That could take some time for him to adjust, but he's the kind of player who could adjust. If that happens, and if he makes that adjustment, I think they will be a solid all-around team. You have The Rock, a.k.a. Pixel, a.k.a. my motherfucking dude. With that said, he is the perfect utility player for this lineup. He can fill in pretty much anywhere, I think, for except goalie. But Chew Therapy is one to not miss games unless he's like, going out of the town or whatever it is to do work. But otherwise, the motherfucker is always there. It is what it is. Pale vanilla, guys. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think that SO drafted a really good team. He's got a really solid base with Moose. Skeptical about Chew Therapy. We'll see. I mean, look, he may have put some doubters to rest last night. We'll see whether he can keep it up. But yeah, and then you've got McSwagger and his boy playing center and right wing. SO can be, the guy to look to for an open pass and a goal scorer kind of role. I think that this team is in the top half of the playoff hunt. I think that they have home ice when it comes down to it in the playoffs. What do you think, Ability?
I think you nailed it right on the head. I like this team. This is probably one of my favorite teams in the league. SO did a fantastic job. Moose and Demented Spud. Now, Spud, I don't know if you guys, I know a lot about Spud, right? Play with him all the time. He plays a lot of hockey. He is adamant about making this adjustment, and I think he's already found out a few tips and tricks that he feels confident in moving forward. This team right here, I got to be honest with you, I'm stoked we took one game out of that series last night. Could have been two, right? But I'm happy we took one. In my opinion, this team's going to be fighting for the championship, and I'm not saying that for no reason. Let's keep in mind here that the last two teams McSwagger was on, right? Weren't they like playoff bound, right? So I'm definitely going to put these guys.
Yeah. Oh, Billy, he's on to something, man. 2 playoff losses in the finals, but at least he got there. Insert, oh, Daly, you don't show up for big games and you suck ass and all that stuff. McSwagger's been to the Cup twice. He's like the Texas Rangers of 2-3-9. He gets there and he fucking loses. But this could be ability on this, man. This team is really, really, really good. So there's that. No pressure, Esso. You fuck. All right, moving along. Winter is coming, and it is coming quickly because we have 5 minutes on the show, so we're going to rattle these off as quick as we can. Not that we don't love you, but I think we can break these down pretty quick. Amazing Viper, Master Shotgun, Pale Poner, C-Dub, C-Do, A. Thompson, and Brick City. Let's start. Brick City, top 3 center in the league. C-Do, best right D in the league. Then you add in a couple pieces. Pale playing lefty / up front. I love it because he's good at both positions. I saw this team firsthand without their full roster the other night, and they play a very, very, very tough game. They are going to be tough to beat. They are going to fucking hell. And Master Shotgun could be the early Rookie of the Year candidate. I know I said Jofus, but he is also in my running along with C-Do. There is 2 potential Rookie of the Years on this team. Pale, you are not going to talk about your own team, but Ability is going to. What do you think?
I think this team is fantastic. On paper, anyway, it looks fantastic. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is goals scoring. There just wasn't enough goals, man. 7 goals overall. Is that what I'm looking at here? That's just not enough to get it done in a series. If you pull out a series win with 7 goals, you got to consider yourself real fortunate. They got great players. There's the potential here, but something's missing. It's got to be some chemistry somewhere along the lines. Nothing that can't be ironed out. I also haven't got a chance yet to see C-Do play, or C-Dub for that matter. But these guys, I'm going to take your guys' word for it. If they're contenders, they're contenders.
What I know, man, is Brick makes everybody better. I know C-Do makes everybody better. She's going to take a lot of pressure off, whether it's Thompson or Pale. And Pale's a diesel-ass defenseman himself. I mean, that's a really good pair, possibly one. A. Thompson in that bitch the other night. He was hammer time in goals, man. There's something about it. They got a good thing going. I'm not betting against this team. I got them in the playoffs. Last but not least, the Wolfpack HC. Clancy, Drug Monkey, Tomps, Ozzy, AC, Nick the Greek, Shock. Couple things. Drug Monkey solidifies the D. Done, over with. He can play with anybody. He can make them look good. Excuse me, I semi-burped. Thompson net, I love it. Early on the pick, I think he could have got him round 3, but apparently from what Pale is saying, that might not have happened. So, Shock did what he had to do. Went out and got his guy. You got Clancy, I believe, on D. AC will be a nice piece to moving up front. Nick's got some time off, but when he's there, he's great. He plays with Drug. I think Ability remembers that. And then you got Ozzy, and who am I missing? Oh, Shock himself playing some left D this year. I was, shocked to see that too. But again, guy's versatility is great. What do you think, Pale? Is this the team that really could compete this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got to see them firsthand last night. They played our full roster, and they were right there with us. We played 3 OT games, and it was pretty awesome. This team is going to be a playoff team. They could probably end up having home ice. I think that they can finish anywhere from maybe 2 to 5. I think that they're a really good team. We need to see him play a little bit more, for sure, absolutely, because a lot of these guys are new. But he's got a really good team on his hand. What do you think, Ability?
One sentence, really? Maybe 2. These guys have 14 assists in one series. Oh, that's going to give goalies nightmares, man. That's a lot of assists. That's a lot of passing the puck in the right places. Just based off that alone, I'd say these guys are definitely playoff bound. I mean, you can look at the players on the team. They look like playoff bound players. This is a nicely assembled team, and I like it.
Sorry, and I was on mute, but I am back now. I said earlier, I really like this team. I like their makeup. I like how they look. Again, I got new guys in the league, but seems to be working out so far. I know it's only been one series, so all this stuff, again, guys, our opinion's our opinion, and you guys love to hate it. You love to love it. Usually, if it's coming out of my mouth, you hate it. You seem to like my colleague colleagues, P4LE and Ability a bit more. But again, man, that's what makes this league great. We all have our opinions. I mean, P4LE did give his team all A pluses. I didn't even do that. I mean, that was drunk P4LE, right? So, but again, guys, great show. And you know what's funny? An hour and a half wasn't enough time. It wasn't enough. It's so weird how it works. You just start going, you go, and it's never seems to be enough time. And next thing you know, like I have a series and my team's blowing me up, and Yambag knows where I am, but he's still blowing me up because he's a piece of shit. So with that being said, we're going to wrap it up, man. Anything you guys have to say before we go off the air?
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, great first week, and I hope the series tonight go well. I'm going to jump online and start viewing you guys, so no pressure there. I'm just looking for stuff to talk about, so play well.
Oh, man, and the thing that I love to be talked about. I love it. So with that being said, man, another edition of the Thursday Throwdown in the books. Oh, man, don't those Weber's jerseys look fucking nasty back there? Yeah. Anyways, man, I'm X Daly, P4LE Ability. We're out this bitch. Have a good night, 239. We'll see you next time.
Peace.